Hello there. Welcome to the Drifting Spore. I'm Steve. It is a bitter, bitter cold day here in Nova Scotia today. It's like minus 11. It's around noon. It's minus 11. It feels like minus 23. So, of course, that's brought me into the thick woods, man, where I got a little bit of shelter from the wind. So it's not horrible in here. I just snowshoed in, and we'll talk about the snowshoes in a minute. I'm going to get set up and get a fire going. I've forgotten a critical piece of equipment that I bring every time, and you might have noticed because of the lack of noise on the way in, but I forgot my colander fire pit, man. I don't know what I was thinking. I was so excited to get out in the freezing cold. I never thought to bring it, so I'm going to have to rig up. I've brought stuff to have a snack. I've got a nice open area here. I'm going to have to do a fire on the ground today. It's not something I normally do. It's been a while, but I think I can make it happen. So let's give it a shot. If you're interested in seeing how this all plays out and seeing if I freeze to death out here, stick around. I grabbed some dead wood there just to make a base for my fire. I got that on the ground. I'm not going to go nuts collecting a bunch of firewood because I am surrounded by dead sticks here. And one of the big benefits to having a fire on the ground that I think I'm going to appreciate is that I don't have to break my wood down to a certain size. I can just basically, whatever I can break off, I can throw on the fire. So I'm going to set the hammock chair up now. The last couple videos, I've had some questions about the hammock chair. So I'm going to give you a bit more detailed look. This is the one that myself and my mom made. We collaborated on. I had my idea. She did all the work. I take no credit for the work. But anyway, you can see it's got like a self-contained stuff sack, right? And I've used half inch or 1 inch, probably 1 inch it looks like, webbing that I got off Amazon. Previously, in the one Mark Young gifted me, I used ratchet strap webbing, and that works great. This works good too. It's just a little bit thicker than ratchet strap webbing. So, you just pull it out of the stuff sack, and it's basically just a square. Once it's out of the stuff sack, you can see the stuff sack is just a square sewed onto the outside, or inside, either way you want to look at it. So this is just a square or rectangle of ripstop nylon is all that is. And what my mom did was she folded over the ends and double stitched them. Hopefully you can see that. And that makes like a little channel to put your ratchet strap webbing or your webbing through. And same on the other side. You could also, you could run this numerous ways. I always just hang it like a hammock. But you could run it off like a small tripod leaning against a tree. You could run this a few different ways. I prefer hanging it like a hammock. And all I did was create a loop in one end of my webbing, right? And when I'm going to hang this, I just pull it nice and tight. and that'll cinch up again when you sit in it. Same with the other end. Hopefully it's not too rustly on the mic. You can hear me. Tighten that end up too. Now when I hang this, I'm all about simple, right? The easier the better. Simple, simple, simple. I'm always saying I'm not very smart, so I have to simplify everything. Bring it down to my level, then I can understand, right? But anyway, I hang this really simply. I just put it around a tree, kind of eyeball it. It usually takes me a couple tries to get it where I want it. And I do just a simple, like, overhand knot, and then I pull that and do a slippery knot there. So that'll just slip through. I tried these with paracord and rope and different things, and I found you're really running the risk of binding your knot, right? And you end up having to cut it, especially paracord. So I found the webbing never cinches up too tight. Then you just do the same to the other side. Kind of eyeball where you want it. I'm kind of getting so that I know about where I want it. On this one, I think I only have like 10 feet of webbing on each side. On the one Mark gave me, I've got 15 feet of webbing on each side. And I'm telling you, I haven't found a spot I couldn't hang that. Yeah, let's see if we can get it. Oh, my staff wants to fall off. Kind of got to gauge like how it's hanging, play with the height. That looks okay. Once you get some experience with it, it gets easier. I mean, it's pretty easy. I always bring my kneeling pad. That's just a dollar store kneeling pad you can get for like gardening or anything. I cut a section off it. It was about this long. I cut that off so that it's small enough to go in my pack. I always give it a bit of a, I think we might have got this the first try. Let's see. I always test it, just ease into it. Oh, there we go. Actually, I nailed it right there. That's perfect, man. Right on. Hammock chair hung. I hope that answers some of your questions there. I do have, I think, 4 more hammock chairs. I gave some away for, I did a bit of a draw when I reached 500 subscribers, and I gave a couple away. I gave 1 or 2 away, and some decals and stuff like that. But anyway, maybe if I do another giveaway one of these days, we'll put another one up for grabs. I'm all out of webbing, so I got to get more webbing for them. But right on. All in good time. Anyway, I'm going to gather up some wood, get my fire going, and get this show on the road, man. It's cold, but it's lovely here in Nova Scotia today. Right on. Perfect hang. All right, I've got my fire stacked up. Like I say, I'm not going nuts collecting wood. There's wood all around me. I just replenished today my little David's tea tin. I replenished it with cotton, cotton that I've rubbed Vaseline into. Put that there for a second. I've got all kinds of ways to make fire in my fire lighting kit, but this is the one I prefer the most. The ferro rod, to me, is something that I'm never going to use up, right? A Bic lighter, yeah, it's going to last a long time. Matches last a long time, but eventually, like, that's a finite resource to me. And also to me, like, eventually, I might wear out a ferro rod, but I've been using one for a couple years now, and I don't feel like I'm even close. I don't know if that's going to work or not. It's not very fluffy. I'm going to use my Leatherman to throw a spark at it. I really like the file for that. No sharp edges that are going to cut me. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Yeah, once my birch bark gets going there, I'll just kind of roll my fire onto it. Usually I have my kettle and everything all ready to go, but this time I'm going to be able to have a bit of a fire, right? So I'm not in that big of a hurry. The birch bark's getting right in my face. Just kind of roll my sticks and stuff onto there. All right. Now that's going to have to burn down, of course, before I can cook over it, but we're underway. All right, my fire is doing pretty good, man. One thing I'm noticing right away is that it's actually giving me some heat, right? My colander doesn't usually do that. So I got my water in my kettle already. I'm going for my Twinings Earl Grey. It's gonna be my tea of choice today. I always just bite the string off. Throw him in to my water. Now, let's see if I can kind of perch this on here somehow. There. All right. Let's see how that goes. Right on. So far, so good. Once I get my tea made, we'll get my snack on. My snack is right here. Hopefully it doesn't freeze before I can eat it. Okay, that's looking great, man. I gotta say, the colander, when I'm using it, it provides zero heat, right? A little wee bit, but this, like, even when I stand up, I can feel the heat. This is nice. I'm enjoying this already. I'm gonna gather up some more wood. And like I say, there's wood everywhere, so I have no trouble here. And, right, I don't have to be so picky about the size of wood. That's awesome. Right on. Okay, my kettle is to boil. So that's awesome. That did not take very long. I'm going to pour my water, pour my tea, and then I'm going to grab a bunch more wood. And then we're going to get cooking my snack. Just want to make sure. Oh yeah, that's boiling really nicely. Now, let's get this poured. Of course, the smoke just went right in my face. Ooh-wee. That fire's warm, man. I like it. There we go. Tea is poured. Earl Grey, black. That's how I take it. Again, I've brought my little cedar shingle that I cut down to size. Just makes a nice flat surface when I'm out here. And my mug is an insulated mug, so my tea will be nice and hot when I'm ready for it. Okay, before I start cooking, I'm going to grab some more wood and stoke the fire again, and then we'll get my snack on. I'm excited to show you what I got today. While I'm waiting for the fire to burn down there a bit, I thought we could take a second and look at these. So the last few drifts we've been on, I've been using snowshoes. So I tried modern aluminum snowshoes, and they were all right. I felt like I sank a lot in them, but anyway, they were all right. I tried them, and Wyatt tried a pair. Speaking of Wyatt, he's going to be jealous today. We always are out with the fire pit colander, and it's really not a warming fire. But this fire on the ground, man, I'm getting warm, like nice and toasty from it. It's minus 23 out, and it does not feel like it at all. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm dressed for this. I am layer on layer on layer. We'll talk about that during tea because I'm doing something a little bit ridiculous, but it's working, man. Anyway, back to the snowshoes. So then I tried my Labrador snowshoes. So far, Labrador snowshoes up to this point have always been my favorite. I find they carry me on the snow better than anything. They're like a bear paw. Newfoundland Labrador snowshoes, they're called. They're like a bear paw type of snowshoe. Love those. Anyway, but my bindings broke on those, so I've been trying to struggle and make new bindings for them. Anyway, a good friend yesterday, literally yesterday, told me that he had a pair of these, so I asked if I could buy them from him, and he said no, I could just have them. And that's kind of the way of things, right? When you're into stuff like this, like bushcraft, man, when you put feelers out, a lot of times you'll find stuff that people are just done with. They don't even want to sell it. They'll just give it to you. So that was the case with these snowshoes. They are awesome. These, I believe, I've done a little bit of research and I think I found them online. These are what I think are Canadian Armed Forces snowshoes, military issue snowshoes. I thought they were aluminum, but they're actually magnesium snowshoes. So that's really cool. Now, wearing these into the woods today, I noticed a few big differences. Big difference number one, the toe being kicked up like that makes it so easy to walk through the woods. Also, this tail back here where the snowshoe comes together, I find that stays on the ground and kind of slides and provides like a bit of balance. Now, the bindings on these are a bit rough, but they're functional. They're working, man. They don't go on super tight, but they stay good on my feet, even with big old steel-toed Dunlap rubber boots, man. So far, these are light. They're comfortable. They've got a little bit of a traction on the bottom. The mesh is actually metal wire that is plastic coated, and man, I think these. I'm so grateful he gave them to me, and I am gonna get a ton of use out of these. I really, really like them. So if you're looking for good, really good for going in the woods snowshoes, your Canadian Armed Forces military issue, I saw a pair on Hero Outdoors. They aren't cheap, man. But anyway, I love them. I'm grateful. Thank you to my good friend who gave them to me. Boy, oh boy, am I ever going to get a lot of use out of these. These open up the woods for me in winter like no other snowshoes, I think. So anyway, my fire's almost down to coals again. I got a good bed of coals there, so I think I'm going to cook like that right now and get my snack on the go. My snack doesn't have to be cooked. It's just got to be warmed up. So let's get set up for that and see how that turns out, man. Love the Canadian Armed Forces snowshoes. They're awesome. All right, here we go. So, got my frying pan. My oil's not frozen. That's good. Got my folding fork. I got my flipper. So let's start getting this frying pan warmed up. Right there, be okay. And for my snack today, I'm gonna have to walk this over to you and show you. So we're back on the bottled stuff trend. Me and Sam took a break from it last weekend and had sausages and tater tots. Today in the pan, I got something super special, man. I'm getting low on the bottled stuff, so this will probably be the last one in the bottled meat series. Today, I have bottled trout, man, from Labrador. Oh, baby. Let me show you this up close. You can see my mother-in-law labeled it trout. Hopefully you can see that, or that'll focus. That is bottled trout from Labrador. Now this trout, when they fish trout, they catch them in salt water, man. And it's already cooked, so I'm just heating it. I'm gonna get it in the pan right away. Now let's get some oil in first. My fire's doing just nice. Let's pull that off the fire. Whoa, my handles are hot. Oh yeah, that pan's nice and hot. Putting oil in just to try to prevent stuff from sticking. I don't care if it does stick. I've got a pretty good seasoning on this pan. Oh, I got smoke in my eye. But I can't rub it because I got oil on my fingers. Oh my. Okay, where's my gloves? There we go. That's looking good. I can hear the pan getting hot. I gotta rub my eyes as much as I don't want to. There we go. Better. Now, my trout. Let's see if I can get this open without too much trouble. I'll use my file again on my Leatherman. Again, no sharp edges, man. Gotta be mindful of that stuff. I don't want to be bleeding out here at minus 23. Oh, that was hard to open. All right. Now we better take that pan off the heat before I put the trout in, or it's gonna just scorch, I think. Give it a second to cool off. So that oil is getting hot. That's just olive oil I've got in the pan. Now, let's see if we can get this to come out. I did bring there we go. Ow! Jeez, it sprayed me. That oil's hot, man. Come out. There we go. Come out. My seal is what I had trouble getting out of the bottle before. There we go. That's out. We've extracted the trout. We'll roll around there. Ooh, baby, that looks good. Okay, I'm just going to put it on there and get it heating. Once it's done heating, we're going to get to eating. Right on, man. Oh, I'm telling you, I'm super impressed with this fire. The amount of heat coming off it, I think almost has me convinced while we have snow down on the ground, maybe leave the colander at home, man. Oh, I can hear it going already. Better back that off the heat a little bit. It's already bubbling and boiling. Ah, it's hot. My handles are very hot. Get my glove on here before I have some kind of disaster on the go. There, you go right there. Perfect. Okay, don't grab it without your gloves. Remember, if you're going to play with fire, always bring gloves, man. Okay, I'm going to let that do its thing, and I'll bring this back when we got something going on. All right, let's get my fish off the fire. Oh yeah, it's well heated. Let's give this stir. It did start to stick a little. No, it's all right. Not bad, not bad, not bad. It's gonna be okay. Put it on the table there. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna throw a bit more wood on my fire for a nice ambiance while I'm eating. Okay, let's give this a try. Oh, not much comfier than the hammock chair, man. I love it. The wind is still strong up there. There's no large dead trees around me, so I'm not worried about anybody trying to jump on me. Beautiful. Let's take the cover off my tea so that it doesn't burn my face off when I go to drink it. And let's put my gloves here to put my pan on. My handles are still kind of hot. Ho, ho, ho. I don't know. I bring it over so you guys can look at it, man. Up close. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's kind of broke up, but nice big pan of trout, man. Labrador trout, too. Caught in salt water. Something I didn't know about trout. These are just like speckled trout. That's what I would think of them as. And what they do is they'll go up into the brooks, out of the salt water, the speckled trout will. But when they want to feed, they go back into the salt water, into the ocean. And that's where my mother and father-in-law catch them at. Now, there's going to be bones in here, so I'm going to be careful. A bottled trout, I'm not sure, might have softened up the bones enough that you can eat them. Oh, baby. That looks good. I wish you could smell it. It smells so good, man. Here we go. First bite of our bottled trout. Hmm. Holy. Oh my goodness. Is that ever good, man? Nice big chunk there. Wow. Oh my golly, that's good. That is that is really close to being the best thing I ever ate, I think. Hmm. Just taking small bites to avoid the bones. Finally hear snowmobiles going. Thought I would hear a lot more today, but I mean, it's cold, cold. Even people on skidoos don't want to be out today. I'm just the kind of idiot that has to get out, man, minus 23 or not. And I ever glad I did. I can't remember the last time I put a fire on the ground like that, but I could see me doing it more. Usually I'm in crown land areas, not private land, right? So, I don't know. I do like my colander, but I love how much heat is coming off that fire there. I enjoyed cooking over it too. Mmm. There's a little bone. Holy, that's good, man. How did our tea turn out? Oh, this tea is strong and it is hot. Just the way I like it. All right. Can't stress enough how awesome that cedar shingle is to just have a flat spot in the woods. Weighs nothing. Don't even know it's in my pack. But having that flat surface out here makes a big difference, man. Especially when there's snow down. Hmm. Right on. I'm going to get real serious about making this entire pan of trout disappear. I'll bring these back when I'm done. Mmm. Wow. There must be. Oh yeah, she puts. My mother-in-law puts a piece of pork fat in every bottle, oh, and it adds a bit of salt. Oh yeah. Hmm. Amazing. What a way to conclude what sort of became a bottled meat series. Right on. Okay. I'm just gonna shut up and eat now. I'll bring these back when I'm done. Mm. Mm. Last two bites. So I was right. Because the trout is cooked in the bottle, the bones, like when it's cooked in a bottle, it's put in the bottle with a little bit of liquid and a piece of pork fat. I don't think any seasoning in this, but then it's boiled in the bottle for like 4 hours or more. So what happens is the bones of the trout go soft. I've eaten multiple pieces of trout spine, no problem. Mmm, wow. Just chews right up. Oh, that bite's cold. mm, but still delicious. Pretty amazing, man. Mm, all right. Yeah, I've been just chucking the odd little piece of wood onto my fire. I got my tea almost half gone now. A little more than half gone, I'd say. Oh, I'm just going to finish that off. Let the fire burn down. I won't add no more wood to that. Can't stress enough. I might be converted. Like, I really, really like my colander fire pit, but it's so much easier to have a fire on the ground like this. The lack of wood processing, right? I had to walk around within. I saw this too on Outdoors on the Cheap on his last video, last or video before. Check out Outdoors on the Cheap. Greg over there is another Nova Scotian doing bushcraft stuff. He's kind of no nonsense and, just, you know, I don't know how to put it. He's very straightforward, okay? But he knows his stuff. And he was saying that when you're making a fire like this, like how far do you really have to go to get your resources? I had the furthest I had to go was to get the birch bark. It was probably 40 paces that way. Everything else has been literally right here within 10, 15 paces of where I'm sitting. So I don't have to gather up a bunch of wood. I just walk around in between doing things, grab a couple handfuls of branches. I don't have to break them down and process them to a certain size to fit my fire pit, right? I just lay them on. I used woo, somebody going on a very loud skidoo, man. He's a good distance that way too. Probably 700 meters, maybe a kilometer. That was loud. I don't know if you heard it or not. Anyway, very, very impressive. I'm happy with that, with doing the fire on the ground. I've had trouble before in deep snow where it kind of melts through the snow and then you're fighting water in your fire. Not so with this lay. This fire's been really good. It's actually warming, right? The wind's starting to get through now, but It's minus 23, man, and I've been very comfortable here. Oh, there's the other ridiculous thing I was going to tell you about too, keeping me warm. Anyway, about the fire, I love it. Check out Outdoors on the Cheap. Greg, another Nova Scotian doing amazing things in the woods. So let's have my last drink of tea. It's almost gone. That wind is picking up again hard, man. So we were in Pictou County the other day, and we were in a store. I forget the name of the store, but they sold like wool scarves, things like that, geared towards women, right? Now, you, this is going to be a little bit ridiculous anyway. The clothing and stuff geared towards women, but they had leggings for women that were fleece lined. Fleece lined leggings. I don't know if you know leggings like yoga pants, leggings, whatever you want to call them. I'm not up on my women's fashion, but when I saw these leggings that are fleece lined, I was pretty impressed, man. So today being minus 23, I asked my wife Rena very nicely if I could try a pair of leggings. So she had one pair that's far too big for her, and she gave them to me. And these things are fleece lined. I've still got long johns on, so I went because it's minus 23. Don't get me wrong. So I went long johns, fleece lined leggings, and then lined pants. These are just Wrangler lined pants I'm wearing. And man, right here, right now, my bottom half, waist down, it's just perfect, perfectly warm. So I just wanted to try them. I think on super cold days like this, I will be wearing women's leggings as long as they're size appropriate. I might even get somebody in New Glasgow to pick me up a couple pairs of them because, man, I'm not, I don't care, men's, women's, it doesn't matter to me. It's all about functionality. And I'm quite fine with my masculinity. I'm not. It's not threatened by wearing a pair of women's leggings. My show yous. Well, this isn't going to get X-rated. Don't worry. So these leggings, see them underneath here, right? Those suckers are fleece lined. Add those with a pair of long johns underneath. Whoo hoo hoo! You are talking nice and toasty. And like I wouldn't wear this if it weren't minus 23, right? Because I think you would be far too hot, man. Oh, anyway, that's my ridiculous little thing I'm trying today. It's working, so I'll likely do it again. My fire's starting to burn down. I'm not going to add any more wood to that. I'm going to get cleaned up, put the fire out, get the snowshoes back on, and head back to the car. I've got a bit of a jaunt to get back out of here and continue on with the rest of my week. I've had a really great run, man. It's been so good. I don't like 2025. I think I've gotten out every single weekend so far in 2025. Got a really great streak going. I questioned today if I was sane wanting to come out in minus 23. That's Celsius. But I did, and I'm really glad I did. It's beautiful in here. I knew if I could get out of the wind, I would probably be all right, and I was right, man. Anyway, I'm gonna tidy up, let the fire burn down, get packed up, and get ready to head back. I'm gonna take a few minutes to breathe this all in, though, too. Take it home with me. Experiences like this help balance me. Our lives are very chaotic, right? Mine not so much, but the outside world around me can be chaotic. I don't pay attention to it. I pay attention to just what's directly around me. That's it. I don't go looking for trouble. mm. Even that small, I can still feel heat off that fire, man. Awesome. Anyway, packing time. That trout was delicious, man. There's a raven up there. I can hear him croaking. He's very close. Or she. Anyway, I'm just poking at my fire. I've covered it in snow. I've stomped it. I've mixed it up with my staff. It's definitely out, man. Wow. This is one of those drifts that I just wasn't sure, right? I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out. I wanted to try out the new snowshoes. He's right there above me somewhere. I can't see him. I wanted to try the new snowshoes, the Canadian Armed Forces snowshoes, man. Yeah, I highly recommend. I like them a lot. I'm going to be using these quite a bit the rest of this winter. We're deep into February now, so it's hard to say how much longer I'm going to get to use snowshoes, but as long as I can, I'll be using them. I like them. I've had a lovely, lovely time in the woods today. It's cold, it's windy, but it's not too bad here in the thick woods, so gonna head for the setting sun, make my way back to the car. It's only gonna take me 15 minutes probably to get back to the car. And yeah, hopefully I can find this spot again someday, man. This little opening in the thick woods is beautiful. I love it. He's even closer now. Oh, I see him. There he goes. He's big. All right, I'm going to head her down the trail. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed. And remember, folks, I say this at the end of every video, and I can't stress it enough. You will never find anything unless you get out and look. Go have a look, man. It's worth it. Bye for now.